Hey, I'm Siobhan, and I love talking about all the things related to freedom and personal growth. And I'm on a journey to redefine freedom on my own terms as I become the woman I desire to be. Each week, I'll share in real time what I'm learning as I do my inner work while creating a safe space for my listeners to feel seen. If you desire to be free and live a life that feels good to you, then you're in the right place for beautiful conversations that's going to support you on your journey to freedom. Welcome to the Siobhan J. Middleton podcast. Now let's start the show. Hey, welcome back to another episode of my podcast. Per usual, I'm so happy that you are here again for another week. So I have been teasing this episode on Instagram and kind of talking about this topic in my stories. And I needed to sit with the topic a little bit longer than I anticipated because of what I needed to process. And I had shared a little bit on IG and I received a comment or a DM, I should say, about it. And then I also had conversations with friends around this topic. And what I'm noticing is that can you handle the good is really relatable because you think that, oh yeah, when all the good starts coming in my life, yes, I'll be able to handle it. But is that necessarily true? And so I am learning throughout my own journey that how I thought I was going to experience all the good in my life, some other stuff is coming up. And that's what I want to talk to you about today. So I went on a date about 2 weeks ago, and it was the perfect date. I mean, it just really warmed all the pieces of my heart. And I noticed the next day, so that Monday, I started having a lot of anxiety. And I'm like, oh my goodness, what is going on? The date was perfect. What are you feeling? And the feeling of pleasure, the feeling of delight, the feeling of joy that I experienced on this date was unfamiliar. And so my body was responding, and that's where the anxiety had come from. And so as I was doing like a self-talk and trying to check in and see what was going on, I'm like, oh, you are experiencing really good feelings from this date, and it's making you anxious. It's making you afraid. You're thinking, oh no, when is everything going to go left? And if you were raised in a church like me, then you know that you are taught the storm is going to come. Now, I no longer attend church, but I still have beliefs that I'm working through that I have to unlearn. And I believe that that is the experience that I was having. And so when I'm feeling all of this anxiety, I'm like, oh my gosh, like, am I trying to self-sabotage? And the reason that came up is because I noticed myself pulling back from the guy that I had went on a date with, because I'm like, this is too good to be true. There's no way that this date could be as perfect as it was and everything is clicking so well with him. Like, what the hell, right? So then as I'm thinking about this, I was like, you know what? Let me reach out to my friend. And I sent her a voice note and I'm like, okay, I went on a perfect date. Everything was absolutely amazing. And what I'm learning, and I tell her that I was starting to self-sabotage and I was having anxiety. I'm going to read her response to my voice note, because this is why I am a firm believer on having amazing friends in your life, right? And allowing your friends to be a witness to your life. So I send her this voice note and I'm sharing everything. And so she says, yes, is definitely being afraid for all of the reasons that you listed. I completely agree that it's best to stay in the present and literally take it day by day and enjoy it day by day. Remind yourself that you deserve these experiences and relish in them. Bask in the sweetness of this experience with him. We can't predict the future, but we can enjoy what we have in front of us in the now. And don't forget, this is a manifestation. He's giving you all the things you desire. He's giving you everything you told me you wanted when we were at the bar. And so when she said that, I was like, oh my gosh, she's so right. Number one, I am deserving of it. I am deserving of great experiences. I also have manifested exactly what I wanted when I start dating. And what I realized when she sent me that text is that I'm so glad that I shared this with her. And also, I understand why I feel the way that I feel. Because, as you know, if you've been following my journey for any amount of time, I was married for 19 years and with my ex for 20 something years. And so I have an experience that is very limited. So now that I'm outside dating, if something feels too good and unfamiliar, my nervous system is becoming dysregulated. And so this is the beauty of therapy because I'm able to catch it and acknowledge it, right? So I was on the phone with this guy that I'm dating, and I was telling him, like, yeah, because he was like, how are you feeling today? I'm like, yeah, and this was on that Monday. I was like, oh, I'm feeling a lot of anxiety. He's like, oh, do you want to tell me why? And I'm like, no, not at this time. I don't want to share that. And he respected it. We kept on with our conversation. And later in the week, as I was able to process it, I came back and I said, oh, yeah, I was feeling anxiety because of X, Y, and Z. And it was such a beautiful conversation. And also, he felt the anxiety that I was experiencing. And he didn't call it self-sabotage, but I believe that he was starting to feel that as I was pulling away. And so I'm learning a lot. And I will say dating is very beautiful and is helping me see myself. And this is why I think it's important to have different types of connections and have experiences, because there's so much to learn about yourself as you engage with other human beings. I keep talking about this on IG, how my life feels really good right now. Like every aspect of it feels so good. Like I wake up every day with a sense of peace and ease. And it's not like things aren't happening, but I am managing them way better than I was in the past. And this is why I continue to say I love it here. I love this part of my life because it is very beautiful. And I'm going to say that it's because I'm present. It's because I'm doing my inner work. I think, therapy is huge for me in helping me see myself. And so when this situation came up with the guy that I'm dating, I was able to, number one, acknowledge what was going on within myself, communicate in an effective way, like, no, I'm not ready to talk about this. Reach out to my friend, actually friends, because I reached out to several friends, and they all basically said the same thing. You deserve this. And you know how you can know that you deserve something, but then there's a difference between actually believing it. And so I'm in this space of leaning into that. And I've been told for years, you deserve this, you deserve this, you deserve this. You deserve all the good things coming your way. But I think now there's something shifting where the words are hitting me in a different way. And I'm so grateful for this experience because I'm like, oh my gosh, how would I have caught this had I not had this date with this particular person? I'm sure it may have come up in another way, but I needed it in this moment. And then when I shared on IG, like, can you handle the good? There was a young lady in my DMs and she said, oftentimes I've been afraid of happiness due to not wanting to cope with it being snatched away in some way. And I replied, like, yeah, it's so wild because we've been taught that the good or the joy or the happiness is not going to last for a long time. And I want to believe something different. And I think what's working for me is like really, really, really working on being present and allowing the moment to be what it is, not overthinking and getting in my head, not making things out to be more than what they are, acknowledging what I'm feeling, how I'm feeling, using my resources, whether it's therapy, whether it's a book, whether it's reaching out to my friends, whether it's going for a walk, affirming myself, like whatever those resources is, I'm using those. And I'm going to decide to let the good in. I'm going to decide to let myself be happy. And even if it's temporary, which everything is, right? Because, everything doesn't last forever. Allowing myself to just know, like, for this very moment, you deserve this good, And I guess when it comes to the self-sabotage, what I really wanted to do was run and protect myself. But that is not how I'm going to grow. Like, I have to lean in. And I'm so glad I was able to catch the anxiety, and then share and then hear from my friends and say, you know what? That makes perfect sense. Look at what you've experienced. Look how your life has been. And then how you've done this work to completely transform your life. Yeah, you deserve the good. And also in the beginning, the good may feel uncomfortable. The good may feel unfamiliar. You may want to run from it because you haven't had this experience before. And yet that doesn't mean that you're not deserving of it. How I plan to move forward is I'm going to continue to affirm that I deserve all the good. I deserve good, all of it. All of it. I'm going to trust in my manifestations. And it's so funny because I speak life into myself all the time. And I've been very clear about what I want to experience dating. But it's different when your manifestation becomes your reality, because then it's like, well, are you ready for it? And yes, I am ready for it. And then I think the other part of the manifestation, do you believe that you can have what you really want? And I do believe that I can have what I want, but it is an adjustment when you actually get it. I am going to take dating moment by moment by moment and really just lean into being present and communicate in the most effective way possible and just enjoy my life. I just want to enjoy my life and all of it. And I want to believe that I can accept the good. I want to believe that this anxiety came up for a reason, to remind me just of that. And I don't have to subscribe any longer to what the church says or what society says, but I can believe that the best is going to happen. The best moments I'm going to experience. And let that be enough for this moment, And so this experience taught me a lot, and I'm grateful. I'm very, very grateful for it. And it's a powerful thing to be able to see yourself and to see how you're showing up and where you still need to do work, And so this is a journey, and I promise you guys all the time, like, I'm going to share what I'm experiencing in real time because I know it's going to help someone. And if it's helping me, I know it's going to be inspiring or encouraging to the next person. And so I thank you for listening, and I'm curious to know. You can shoot me a DM, an email, and let me know, how did this episode resonate with you? You can also leave a review on Apple Podcasts, on YouTube, on Spotify, and let me know. That would be amazing. If you were inspired in any way, you can treat me to a cup of coffee. That link is in the show notes. I would love for you to subscribe to my newsletter, where I share in more detail about how I am navigating this beautiful life that I get to live. And you have an option to be a free subscriber or a paid subscriber. And I'm grateful for whatever option that you choose. Thank you so much for tuning in. Sending you so much love and light. Until next time.